Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. This reading is going to be about what will be unfolding over the next 48 hours. We have the star here. And we also have Seven of Cups. The word Proctor is coming through. Star, Seven of Cups, Two of Swords, King of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I'm definitely feeling a little bit of a rigid energy with the star and the Four of Pentacles. Where I'm getting that from is that we have earth energy here in general, but also too, starting with the star, this is connected with fixed earth, and then having not fixed earth, it's fixed air, but then having Four of Pentacles below it, there can be something going on here where there's a wanting to hold things a certain way, not wanting to let go of something. So this can be a very willful, I'm going to hold on to this, and then this bringing up stuff that is not allowing some type of confusion to pass, or something that's going on emotionally to pass. And then it can be not allowing you to see things clearly either, because we have the star here, and this is going to concern your path. And then when we have that Seven of Cups, it can be something where there's confusion about that, or confusion about a direction that one needs to take. This can be like a healing direction, or the path that one feels they're meant to be walking upon in like a purpose-related way when it comes to what one wants or what one is wishing for, hoping for, those types of things. It's gonna be connected with like these bigger themes, these more zoomed out themes. Having Seven of Cups here, there's something that is unclear, but then also having Two of Swords shows that the reason why something can be unclear is because we're not seeing something totally. Like, we cannot be seeing the whole story, we cannot be seeing the whole truth. We can even be holding on to something that's not true, that then is blocking us from seeing the truth. And then when we have King of Pentacles, this is the part of us that we want to be showing up and sort of fulfilling what we feel like we need to be fulfilling here, to be able to honor our obligations and our duties, and also to be showing up and taking care of ourselves and the things that we're responsible for, and be making those steps. But how can we make those steps if there is a not allowing ourselves to move forward with things? So this can even be wanting to conserve when there's actually a need to be making a move here instead. Because King of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles is knowing that stuff needs to be done. Like, I need to do something here, there are steps that need to be taken, and it needs to sort of match and vibrate with and be congruent with my overall bigger goals here that I have. But then when we have this Four of Pentacles with the star, this feels like not budging with something when you need that movement, and then feeling stuck within that. It feels like stopping the flow of things. And then feeling, it can be like unsure sort of how to move here. Hold on, hold back. I'm seeing a holding on, a holding back. I feel like there's some type of divider issue with the Aquarian and Libran energies here. For some reason, it feels like archetypally an Aquarian perspective And then archetypally a Libran perspective, and something about these energies almost like opposing one another is what this feels like. Some of this has to do with a relationship this is connected with. Okay. I mean, having Star and having Four of Pentacles, that doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily holding on to something that you don't need to be. What this can mean is that there is a move that can be made, but you may not. Having Four of Pentacles connected with Knight of Pentacles, even though it's not the biggest move or the fastest move, it is a move that would be being made. But then having this Four of Pentacles here feels like not doing that. It feels like withholding. It feels like instead of doing the thing, I'm not going to do the thing. I'm just going to stay here like this. And I'm not going to move when there is a need to make the move here. Like there is an offer that may need to be made, but it doesn't just have to be an offer. I feel like that's a very like simplistic way of reading the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about doing things where it's helping you build towards the goals that you have, especially having King of Pentacles come out here. So this is the stuff that's important to you. And having this be underneath the Star, I feel like there's a focus on this fixed energy, which maybe you're having a hard time sort of breaking out of some type of thought pattern, and that's why you're not moving here with this. It can be I'm sort of holding this back rather than allowing something to flow in the way that it needs to, and then feeling unsure about what to do, because then I'm seeing the Seven of Cups come up, and that can just be you have different things in front of you and you feel unsure, things feel unclear just in general. And then when we have the Libran energy below it, it's about needing to balance the heart and the mind, which maybe that's why this can just be a process that has to be worked out right now, and it can be something that you feel like hasn't fully happened. And then when you have that Two of Swords, it feels like there's just something that is sort of getting in the way of seeing things clearly, but trying to figure out what that is exactly. And I wondered too if this is going to be about breaking down your values as well here. When we have Libra, there can be stuff about what we're signing on for as well, what we're signing up for, what we're committing to. You can also feel like before you make a choice, you need to gather more information. With Two of Swords above Page of Swords, that can feel like I have this choice, something going on looming over my head, and I feel like I need to find out more before I can do something about this. But then when we have this King of Pentacles connected with Five of Swords, this can be you need to ask questions, but then you're not asking questions, like something needs to be done here, because I'm seeing Five of Swords looking at Page of Swords like there's some type of issue. This can be feeling uncomfortable with finding something out or working something out or compromising or trying to work together or like asking questions because of maybe wanting to have the answers already. For some of you too, maybe this is somebody that you are like working with or that's in the environment, and you can feel like they're supposed to be in a position that's meant to be like mentoring you in some way or guiding you in some way, and you can feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. It feels like maybe you have questions that you need to ask, but then somebody wants you to sign a contract, but they don't really want you to ask questions. That's kind of what this can feel like, even if it's happening like on an energetic level. It can be somebody that there's something going on where if you're not this King of Pentacles here, this can be somebody else's energy, and maybe they want you to like do something without asking questions. But this can also be a part of you too, where if you're this energy that is the King of Pentacles, maybe there's a part of you that you already want to be able to handle something and know what you're doing, but you actually need more information, and then you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable and get information because it has you feeling like you're not so much of an authority figure. And that's going to be something going on with the ego when we have that Five of Swords here like that. And really what's needed is this is meant to be a step in the direction of a new chapter that one feels is very intertwined with one's purpose and one's faith in the direction that they're taking, but still this holding back is happening. I do feel like with Seven of Cups and Five of Swords being connected with one another, this shows that there can be, one may be clear on where they stand emotionally from a place of openness, but from an ego standpoint can be standing somewhere else and then be like, now I don't know what I'm feeling, or now I don't know what's going on. Meaning you can want to open your heart to something, but then your ego is saying, no, don't do it because then you could get hurt. And then you're like, what am I supposed to do here? But one thing is going to come from a genuine space within you. And the other part is going to, well, come from an open heart space within you. And then the other option, the other avenue, the other motivation will be something that's motivated by the ego and by self-preservation, of not putting yourself out there, not being vulnerable, because then I feel like this is about like losing some sort of power or something, or like maybe the upper hand. That can be part of the perception of this. But also too, like having Justice and then having King of Pentacles, there is a need and a responsibility even to be collaborative, to be working together, to ask the questions that need to be asked, to be curious, especially too if there's something that you're going to be getting connected with here. You want to know what it is that you are connecting with in the first place. But it feels like you need to find out more information in order for that to happen, but then not wanting to ask the information, and then it can feel like it's just throwing things off at this point. There's a need here for you to really use your discernment, and I think the side of discernment is needed, but you also have to ask yourself what's occurring to you as far as what's relevant for your path and what you want and what is making sense for you. So it's going to have to be both of those things, because there needs to be some type of basis motivation, like what type of chapter do you want this to be for yourself, so you can discern what that actually is. So that part needs to be established first, and then you can discern whether it's that or not. And this is going to help you cut through the confusion or the congestion that you can be feeling, because I'm getting to that this requires you to take a leap of faith, but the part of you, there is a part of you that is resistant to taking the leap of faith, and then you're like, well, do I do it or do I not? And it's like this whole time you've been encouraged to be doing this and to take the leap of faith, but your ego, your Five of Swords, which is the part of you that wants to protect you from getting hurt, is like, don't do it, don't do it. But that's not your higher self, and it's not your intuition telling you that. There can also be stuff that this can allow you like mentally to be liberated from something that you don't need to be caught up in anymore either. Like this stuff that's been really taking up space and really taking up room for you, when you're meant to be liberated into this next chapter and just make the move that needs to be made. Because you don't want to be somewhere that you don't want to be anymore. And why are you going to be making moves to stay somewhere? And this really does, I think that this is about bringing awareness to the part of you that is the Five of Swords. Because this is the part of you that, if you're in a position where you're doing something and you don't feel like particularly happy being there, and it doesn't really feel like it's your cup of tea, However, maybe you're in a position of authority, or you like already know the ropes, and so you don't really have to ask questions because you already know what you're doing, but you're not really happy there. Like, is that a reason to stay within something? And you have to be the one to answer that yourself. Nobody can answer that for you. Like, some of us, there may be a preference to be comfortable versus being happy. What if you could have both of those things? Would you want both of those things? But don't ever mistake the Five of Swords as being guidance that you're getting from your intuition or from your guides. It's not. It's coming from the ego space, and that's where the confusion comes from. It's coming from a space of shutting down, of staying small, of holding back, of not making the move. That's where I'm seeing this holding back be coming from. This can even be like holding back from pursuing a dream of yours that you want to pursue, or a path that you feel interested within, and wanting to hold on to the work that you've done to the point where it starts holding you back because it's not allowing you to grow beyond or outside of that. So rather than you building upon what you're doing, you just keep going in circles with the stuff that you've been working on. This feels like needing to bring about not only emotional awareness but also psychological awareness too, to what's going on, like emotionally, intuitively, what you're picking up on. I do feel like this is like the part of you that wants to be open and curious in order to find things out. That is your intuition. That is your soul saying, let's figure this out. But then when your shadow comes through, it's like, don't be curious, don't ask the question, like you don't need to look into that and find that out. It's something that's going to keep you small. It's something that will have you shut down rather than open yourself up. And then you're going to invest in the ego. You're going to invest in something that can feel safe to you, playing it safe, playing it small, and then that's what you're going to be left with. And is that something that you want? Is that something that you want to nurture within your life? Or do you want to have a new chapter that feels more aligned for you and these bigger dreams and goals that you have for yourself, or a life that feels more worth living to you? And that's ultimately what this comes down to. But it's definitely not easy when we work with the Five of Swords, because we have to find ways where we feel like we have a lack of support, or we're worried, like, is this safe or not? Or is this going to be okay? We have to work with those parts of ourselves. And it can be difficult to work with those parts of ourselves. But if you want to connect with the things that bring you joy within your life, there is a vulnerability needed. However, if you're cutting yourself off from exposing that vulnerability, then you don't connect with your 10 of Cups and you're left with something else. And it's about asking yourself if that's what you want or not at the end of the day. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.